Howdy, I'm Jake Hayhurst with the Hayhurst brothers. We're here at Paul and Brittany Risse's beautiful abode that we recently built. We want to show you all around. Hopefully they're home. Let's see. Paul actually is home. We knew that the whole time, but that's just part of the deal.
Well, good evening.
Good evening, Paul.
Welcome to our house.
See, this is a unique situation here because not only did Hayhurst brothers build this, but Paul happens to be the project manager that built his own house. So Paul came to us and he said, I have this idea and this vision for a home that is a box, a cube. Yes. He said, I want 900 square feet downstairs and I want 900 square feet upstairs. But upstairs, I want it to be all open so I can see both the sunset and the sunrise.
See, where I'm standing right now, this was all filled in with trees and briars and brush. And I climbed up to the top of the oak tree, and then I looked, and I could see that horizon, and I could see that horizon. And I said, okay, this is where I want the house, because if I'm going to live in this area of Texas, I want to have a view, and it is worth it. This right here, very long. We can set up buffets of food. We have marriage groups here. We have girls' night for my wife. They do Bible studies.
Set up really nicely with the sink there so you can see out to the south.
Let me show you something really cool down here. This right here, my wife specifically ordered. You ready? Slow open.
Boom.
It's the coffee. So we make coffee in the morning, and you can close it up, and it makes it all clean looking coffee.
We've definitely intentionally thought through this house. All of the bedrooms and Brittany's office is downstairs, which we'll show you here in a minute. But really, we wanted to capture that wow factor when you walk in. We put these large windows facing to the east and not as big of windows on the west side, mainly because the west sun gets very intense. And then we intentionally left those trees there to the west to kind of help buffer that intense west sun. There's a lot that goes into setting a house up on a piece of property. A lot of intention, a lot of thought going towards what the client wants, what they want to capture, whether they want the southern exposure, or they want to capture the sunrise and sunsets, and really thinking through Texas weather. For efficiency reasons, we don't put a lot of windows on the north side because this house is very tall and there's not a lot of north wind block trees or anything. So in the wintertime, there's not much of a view out that way, and that way this house stays far more efficient in the wintertime.
And if you want to come over here and then look out this way, our dog Charlie will go down there with a bunch of the neighborhood dogs, and they'll get all muddy, and then my wife will wash them off. And this is a little coffee table that we built at the Hayhurst brothers, and these are some nice couches that we just got in. Jake, do you want to have a seat?
I would love to. This couch fits this place perfectly, Paul.
Oh, well, thank you. Nice, open, and we can just talk about anything right now, you know?
You know what I would like to talk about is this fireplace.
Yes.
This wood stove.
Scott at WorthTex built this for me. I went to him and I said, hey, here's a really nice wood-burning stove that I like. Can you build me something similar? And so this is one of a kind in the world. And if you
fabricated specifically for this house.
Yes. Each one of these is a single break, and we're going to be able to have some wood in here in the winter and have nice conversations, and it'll be a warm glow. And this actually feeds the rooftop deck, which we will see in a second. And that rooftop deck has insulated pipe that comes up and also has a little filter on top with a screen where you can warm your hands during the winter.
Nice, Paul. So we got one powder bath up here. Obviously, we don't need a full bathroom. Because there's no one sleeping up here.
What I like about this bathroom is the tile. It's just black and white, and it's like kind of fun. It's like a peacock with structure and less color.
Nice.
But follow me. I'll show you where I keep all my Jordans at.
Like miniature versions of
like
Michael Jordan?
Like Michael Jordan shoes. Oh, hey, how you doing? So if you look right here, and this is where you come in from the outside on the lower part. This right here is my wife's office. She does marketing from home, and it's really nice. She gets this nice view out, very relaxing.
Not a bad place to office, Paul.
I would say it's a wonderful place to office. Come on in. I secretly come in here and shower sometimes just because it's its own beautiful thing. What my favorite thing about it is the color. It's like a deep green.
It looks almost like it has a blue hue to me, Paul.
Blue?
I see blue and green, but I definitely see some blue hues in there.
Well,
but that's just me. A lot of people see different color.
I think that I'm more right, but that's okay.
You could be.
So what we have here is a bed. Whenever you are like waking up in the morning, you can roll over and then you can look out and you can see a tree on both sides. And it's really nice and wonderful. And it's a perfect little room and I love it.
I really do like how we were able to flank the bed with those windows, Paul. It looks really nice.
Follow me. What we have here, this is called a laundry room. And this is where we do laundry. Follow me this way.
As you'll see, there's actually windows in every single room. So it lets as much natural light in as possible. What goes on in here, Paul? What room is this? What do y'all do in here?
That's an interesting way to ask the question, David. This is our bed. We have some wonderful lights from Bright Ideas in Bridgeport, Texas. A little bookshelf. When the sun is setting and you can just be laying in bed having a conversation, just the golden hues and the purples and the reds that show up with the sun setting right there is dreamlike, really.
That's a good photograph of you and Brittany, Paul.
And I met her, and then 24 days later we got married, and this picture shows that happened. And so my wife, this is really her favorite thing in the entire world, but come in here. You ready? But look at this. I mean, it has 2 heads. If you want to conserve water, more than one person can use it at a time.
That's the only reason that you would get 2 people in here,
Yeah,
Paul?
just water conservation.
Nice. As the builder, I was going to just kind of interject and talk about the actual reasons and things that were done in this house. Obviously, your flooring is just concrete. We put a trowel finish on it, so it's crisp, clean, pure, but the imperfections in the concrete come out. So I wanted to kind of get your feedback on whether you like that or not.
I love it for a multitude of reasons. One is that we have a dog, and the dog goes into the pond, it gets dirty. And if it comes in here and the paws get a little mud on the cement, then you can wipe it right up. I also love that it is the different colors. There's the golds, the grays, the whites, all mixed together. And I love also that just the strength of a concrete foundation. Just feeling that underneath your feet is wonderful. So
we do all 2x6 exterior construction, so we get more spray foam, a better insulated house, very good windows. So being here 3 months, how is the efficiency of this home? What is your electrical bills?
I think they're under $120 a month, which is incredible, especially in the middle of the summer. And we have a lot of guests over, so doors are being opened, and we are running the AC, and then we're operating other things as well from the well house or doing projects outside using electricity. So for an electric bill to be under $120 during the summer in Texas for a house that's 2-story is pretty amazing. Come here, Chris. I forgot to show you one thing. Come here.
I was wondering if you're going to show us what you're about to show us, Paul.
I don't know how many favorite things you can have, but inside the house, my favorite thing is the shower. But outside the house, my favorite thing is 2 things, but one thing right now. And that is, check this out. Let's say, hey, I just was weed eating all day, or I just went to mow the yard, and I'm just like, have dust all over me. Well, guess what? You can just like take a shower.
That's pretty nice, Paul. And I mean, I would imagine if you wanted to water the plants, you could do that too. That's pretty nice, Paul.
I like it a lot. So yeah, this is like, I mean, literally the sun hitting your naked body, getting some sun on your booty. We've got a little privacy fence. We live out in the country, but having a little privacy ain't never hurt no one, you know?
I would agree with that, Paul, especially if your booty is naked. Come on down here. We're going to actually walk you around the outside of the house and kind of talk through the design, styling, materials used, and why we use what we use. So we like to incorporate corrugated metal. Simple, it's cleanable, powder coated. This is a charcoal, is what we used on this house, and you just spray it down. You never have to paint it, and it's good to go for, I think it's got like a 40-year warranty, Paul. And what I like about it too is it accents really well with cedar. We use a lot of cedar in our builds and in our design. So Paul has built this cedar wall after the fact, which I think looks really good. We've got cedar posts, and a cedar deck. Paul and Brittany went to McLaughlin Stone. They did the stone on this house, and they picked out an Austin stone because Paul loves Austin, don't you, Paul?
I love Austin.
Paul is a huge fan of Austin.
I lived there twice, and Jake has a slightly demeaning tone to his voice, and that's okay.
Originally, when we had this put together, we had the whole thing corrugated metal. And Paul and I were talking, and Daniel, and we said, you know, I think we need one more material to break this up. So we ended up putting this kind of stone column on the corner to break it up and to give it a little bit of depth and change of tone, and I think it turned out really good.
Yeah.
We didn't put any sod down, which we usually do. Paul wanted to seed everything, and as you can see, it's coming in nicely, Paul.
It takes a little while for Bermuda to take root and to do its thing, but it is starting to work, and I appreciate it.
What Paul's about to show you is my favorite thing about this house, and he said, not only did I want a cube, but I also want a what?
Rooftop deck.
Is that where you're taking us next, Paul?
Yes, I was going to surprise you, but let's just go for it, you know. Come on this way. We use Trex for the deck, both the first and second story and then the rooftop deck. Thank you, Brent Hurd. Without Brent Hurd and his construction business and his crane, none of this would have been possible. And Scott from Worth Technology to do the inside wood burning stove, but he did these custom stairs, and they are unbelievable.
Basically, the roof is its own entity, and all of the water goes underneath, and we built this up on a parapet wall so that the deck structure is its own space as opposed to standing on the roof. So the exterior walls are the structural point of what holds this deck, and then we've got steel I-beams running from one side to the other for the 30 feet that makes this structural.
See, what we've done is we've added a couple chairs, and we're going to add a table and some more chairs up here. And if you ever wanted to have just like a conversation or something,
I may sit down with you, Paul.
Watch, let me show
you
you
might
something.
want to scoot it out a little bit, though.
Let me show you what they do as well. If there's any subject that you wanted to talk about and the stars are out or the sun is setting and it's nice.
Or right now. It's
now.
nice right now. The breeze. The thing about being up here, even in the summertime, you get the breeze coming through.
A nice gentle breeze.
You know, Paul, I really do appreciate you letting us come out today. Thank you to your wife for just opening her house up. It's very, very kind of y'all.
And thank you to the Hayhurst brothers who helped me build the house of my dreams, and something is almost like fairy book. Like a fairy book is not really
Fairy tale?
Fairy tale, fairy story. Fairly good.
Fairly good story.
Fairly good storybook tale.
Thank you all for joining us. We will be continuing to put these videos up, and join us on the next one.